Hi guys, this is Mac here, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, which is called Mac Vlogs. So I would like to welcome you all for my another live session with my wonderful guest all the way from Oman. His name is Huzaifa Ubaid Khan. So he's the founder of Pakistan Awaits, which is a society and a culture which he's been promoting tourism in Pakistan with the help of different bloggers internationally. So let's welcome our guest for today's evening. Good evening, Josefa. How are you? Good to see you live online on my channel.
Thank you so much, Masroor, for bringing me online on your channel. I'm really excited to be definitely sharing the Pakistan Awaits journey with your followers and with your fans today. So this is something I was really looking forward to, and it's been a while that we've been in touch about this. So definitely, I'd be excited to share the journey. How have we been? What is Pakistan Awaits? And how we actually made this campaign happen, where there was no concept of Pakistan tourism before in a country where we live. So yeah, that's definitely something I was looking forward to.
Okay, by looking at you, it seems to me you're quite young, a young boy with all the dreams and ambitions to, do something in life. So what do you have to say on that? How did this came to your mind of starting some initiative which big people with a lot of stuff cannot do that, which you have done it in a very short span of time. How did you do that?
I think there's a very interesting story to the Pakistan Awaits initiative itself. So I'm 25 years old right now, and I work as a digital media
So,
manager. So for me,
I wasn't,
yes.
I wasn't expecting you to be a young boy. Come on, mashallah.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, for me, I work in the digital media industry itself. I mean, I have a big interaction in terms of influencers, and I work with marketing agencies. I myself am in a marketing agency. So for me, I completely understand or understood the reality of or the importance of what it is or what it takes to brand a country. And for me, Pakistan has always been it's a big part of me. Even though I've lived all my life in Oman, and I've pretty much grown up here, but for me, Pakistan is obviously where we come from and where the country. It's one of those countries that I mean, if you're from Pakistan, you cannot just let go of it. Whatever happens. So
Obviously,
I've always wanted to showcase it in the brighter light, because obviously Pakistan has not seen a beautiful past since the past 20 years due to a lot of different factors. I mean, which I mean, it tarnished Pakistan's image if publicly. So we obviously, it was something that always got to me that I need to do something about it. I need to sort of get the positive message out there. And it was very easy. Like at the end of the day, I thought, like, why not use social media as a platform to communicate that information to people that I live with. Obviously, as Pakistanis, we know that our country is a good country. It's safe, and we understand, the procedures the country is going through and the changes it's going through. But as a foreigner, you would not get that. So what you need to do is you need to collect all that information, put it on a platform that is pretty much relevant to foreigners, and they could actually look into that and see that information, and automatically you'll start bridging the gap between the image that Pakistan has and the image that you have of Pakistan as yourself as a Pakistani. So the idea formed from there, and it started off very, very basic. There was no investment or any sort of like huge financial support, I would say, to start the idea. I was very basic. I made a proposal. I took the proposal, and by the way, it happened in 2018, so 2 years now. And
mhm.
I made a proposal. I still remember the proposal. I started working at 3 p.m. I finished it by 6 p.m. I think in 2 hours. And I told my dad that I want to do something about this, because I want to showcase Pakistan to my Omani friends and my Arab friends. So Baba's like, you should go to the embassy, talk to the ambassador about it. And I said, okay. And the next day, I mean, this is just an idea, a
Who was
normal WhatsApp conversation with him.
Yeah, before we proceed further, can you just add on by letting our audience know who was the ambassador at that time which you pitched your proposal to? What was his name?
His name was Ali Javed. So His Excellency Ali Javed. He and his CW at that time, the Cultural Welfare Attaché of the Embassy of Pakistan. Sayyid Ramal Ali. So these two people were really supportive. I
Okay.
went to them. So I was told that I'm going to have a meeting for like 15 minutes regarding this proposal. But then apparently they were so excited about it that that meeting went up to 45 minutes, and we actually got so excited about it that this is something that should happen for Pakistan's image, and as well as for the people in Oman to actually get an experience of the country on a brighter image and all of that. So yeah, that's how we started off, and uh, I still remember the day, when everything was getting approved. I mean, each and every part of this campaign has just been so interesting. From the name itself, Pakistan Awaits, it was the name of a WhatsApp group that I created with my influencer friends, and I wanted them to basically just go to Pakistan with me on a normal trip, and then it actually became the official name of the campaign because we were just like, why not call it Pakistan Awaits? Because that is something that
Yeah, but the whole idea was that the influencers and the YouTubers who you had gathered together to bring them to Pakistan, how difficult was for you to convince them and change their mindset of coming to Pakistan, basically, because Pakistan's image was totally very negative around the world, basically because of lots of issues happening in the country, which was not safe, which everybody wanted to take the advice from their embassies and their consulates before coming to Pakistan for the tourism matter. Right? So, what was your strategy and what was your process of convincing and telling them that you're going to take care of them?
I think the strategy of that is very simple, and it's something that you and I can actually grow it within ourselves.
Okay.
You as a person are the perfect ambassador of Pakistan, right? So, like, you need to make sure that you as a person are portraying your country in the best light possible.
I
There
totally agree.
must be issues back home. There must be issues back home, but I'm not saying that there are no issues. But for you as a person, like, how are you as a Pakistani? Are you dressing the right way? Are you talking the right way? Are you highlighting the right stuff about your culture? You
Right
just need to
values,
be, yeah, your
values, and
values, your culture, your ethics. You need to be in that position where you can promote Pakistan in every action you do. That automatically will reflect on other people, right? So when I spoke and to be honest, my first influencer was a female, and that also an Arab female. So I mean, if you think about it, it's a very first of all, very tough society to convince, coming to a country completely alone, and to a country which is in such bad light. So the reason was that how you as a person are to those people as well. Like, that is important because for me, like, I've always made sure that even if I'm going to like events or anything or whatsoever, people would wear suits. I would wear shalwar kameez, things like that. So for me, it's that we need to be able to carry in our culture proudly, our country proudly, and that's the only way people would want to know more about it. Because the more you carry
you
yourself well, it's going to add more.
you can add the best thing about Pakistan is the hospitality which we
Yeah,
provide to all the
yeah,
international community.
yeah. Obviously our hospitality is. I mean, if you compare it to the Arab culture, it's the same. We're pretty much this is similar in that aspect. And every part of Pakistan is just so unique and different. So there's so much to offer, and there's so much that we're not tapping out on, right? So for me, this was definitely one of those points where I was able to talk to these people, and I mean, I wouldn't say that I had to work really hard on convincing them, but it was more like, I mean, for the first trip, it definitely was not hard. But I would say second trip was very hard because the number of people increased and we had a bigger landscape to cover. So that's the later part of the story that I'll come to. But it was easy because as I said, you are the example of the country that you're coming from. So if you've sold yourself to those people, then automatically I think,
Half the battle is won if you can sell
yeah,
yourself, first of all.
yeah. So definitely that's was what was the motivation was for for them to come to Pakistan, and to be honest, the embassy was really supportive, and I mean, and I didn't expect it to be. I mean, we did the trip in July, and we did our first event in August, which was basically a complete screening of the video and everything, and we had all these guests coming in. And what we designed was a complete screening of the trip that we had in Pakistan. So with all these influencers, so namely of them was Hiam Al Jabri, she's a TV presenter, host in Oman, and then there was Dan Al Qadi from Bahrain. She's also a pretty big social media personality in Bahrain. And then we had Fahad Al Abri. He's also a very interesting character on social media because he handstands across the world, promoting peace and all of that. So we basically had a very good diverse group of people that went to Pakistan, and we had a good
I think
audience as well.
important person from your group, that is Rosie Gabriel, who created a really big impression about the Pakistan when
Yeah.
she back, I guess, and did the whole tour of Pakistan individually.
Yeah, yeah. For Rosie, I think Rosie was the most exciting person that I got in touch with, because I still remember how actually Rosie Gabriel happened to Pakistan, because I still remember I was in Islamabad, and it was around 3 a.m. in the night, and it was, I think, morning in Canada. And Rosie used to live in Oman before, so she was working as a photographer here, but then she went back. So I sent her a message. I'm like, she was a friend, so I said, "Listen, Rosie, would you want to come to Pakistan?" And she goes like, definitely, but I'm still not sure because I don't know how the country is like. So it was almost like an hour and a half of a call where I was convincing her, please come, you'll be managed and everything. And yeah, that's what happened. And she said yes. And then we brought her from Canada to Oman first, because there was another group of 9 people joining us from Oman and going to Pakistan. There was a whole group of like almost we were like 10 people that were going to Pakistan. So we had 8 Omani influencers and then 1 Canadian. And then we had all these people going to Pakistan, and then we started our journey from Karachi all the way up to basically Nathia Gully. So we went from Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, Nathia Gully. So it was a very exciting trip.
Each
But yeah,
city,
definitely,
how,
Rosie
how,
did.
how long was the trip in each city you guys had spent before moving to each city?
Yeah. So basically, Masru, what we did was we created this itinerary based on there's something that I've always tried to explain about Pakistan Awaits as well, is that we primarily focus on highlighting, because tourism, you can show a good country, you can show a beautiful country, right? People would be more
Hmm.
interested to not see a beautiful mountain, but they might be interested to see a beautiful mountain and a beautiful person. You know,
True.
you basically need to highlight those elements of the Pakistani culture. And the reason we did the second trip, the first trip was pretty much focused on the northern side of Pakistan, like the Gilgit-Baltistan province and all of that. But the second trip was primarily focused on southern Pakistan, and as well as what is our culture, because you get to see Pakistan's culture in the cities, because there's a lot of people from all these different provinces put together. I mean, you're in Karachi right now. So I mean, Karachi is the biggest city in Pakistan, and you have all these people from all over the country in just one city packed together. But then again, there's a big culture that there's in Karachi as well. Like, there's the Memon culture. There's these all these different cuisines that there are. Like Karachi is famous for its nihari. Come on. So I mean, we wanted to basically highlight all those specific elements of Karachi. I was born in Karachi myself, so for me, I mean, we took them to Karachi. So when we go to Karachi, we took them to a family's house, which was a partnered family. What we do is we partner with families in Pakistan of each and every province and each and
Okay.
every city that we go to, and we tell them that we want you to host these people for a day at your place, and show them
Okay.
that what is the culture of Pakistan while being at that house. I mean, if you're in Karachi, let's say. So I still remember, it was very exciting and funny that they were received by this lady who was dressed so beautifully in a proper peshwas and a dress of the Karachi dressing, and she received them with flower garlands, and those gajras and all of those things. They were received very well. There was basically a proper arrival, a breakfast. Then there was like a how to make nihari, for example, of an experience. Then we took them to Tariq Road. Then we took them to Zainab Market. We took them to all those places where a Karachiite goes through every day, and they even got a ride in the minibus. So I mean, for them it was just exciting. Like all of it was just like, this is something that they've never seen before, and this is something we want to
Did
show.
they all tried the camel ride or the sea view in Karachi?
Yes, they did. They actually really loved it. Even though most of them were Arabs, but like they said, they've never experienced any camel ride like this before, because our camels are dressed more beautifully, I guess, with all those colorful, colorful ornaments. But definitely was an exciting experience. We went to Clifton as well, and then there was also a Qawwali night the same day. So it's just we wanted to highlight as much as we can of the culture of the country itself in that region.
Okay.
Then from there onwards, the journey went on to Lahore, and that's a complete another story. Because when we went to Lahore, so we stopped on the way, and we went by train. So it's a complete another experience because it's a train in Pakistan.
Going by the trains, I'm sure they might have seen a lot of villages on the way, from the windows, and get to know how the Pakistan definitely looks like, in terms of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beauty.
I mean, the train experience was, I think, one of the most exciting experience for everyone because we were 9 people and we were in 2 compartments. So and for 14 hours. So it was just a lot of team bonding and getting to know each other. Excuse me. So getting to know each other and all of that. So it was very exciting for us. And the most important and most funny, I would say, funny part of it, and also a very patriotic part of it, was that, I still remember that when we were stopping at Sindh, it was one of those. I think maybe we were stopping at. I think it was Rodi, or one of those stations that comes in interior Sindh. So one of the
Okay.
train station staff, he came into the cabin and he gifted everyone ajraks, even though he didn't know us, and he just gave everyone ajraks. And that was something that we wanted to show as well, because in our minds we were like, that is Sindh for them. And then
So
from there,
initially, before the trip was moving towards Lahore, like you guys were moving towards Lahore, just let everyone know that all these people who were with you, how fit they were in terms of the stomach. Basically, we come to know that whenever any tourist comes to Pakistan, they always have stomach issues and constipation and all those things. So were they okay for all their journey? I think it was 2 weeks journey you had uh, came up with,
I
right?
I think, yeah, the Omanis were pretty much fine. I think they were pretty much used to the spices and everything. They were doing well, but I
Okay.
think Rosie was having a tough time in terms of getting to know the food and all of that, because it was new for her. She had never been there, so
Uh-huh.
for her it was definitely something that she was struggling with. But I was also surprised that at a point she was also getting used to the food and she was enjoying it. So definitely, I mean, I take a lot of pride in Pakistani food, so you can't say no to it. I mean, Karachi, obviously, I said, has had its own food. It had niharis, it had biryanis, and it had its own thing. Then when we were on the way on the train, that same family basically made pulao for the entire team, and they basically had that
Mhm.
whole pulao all the way until Lahore. But then when we
Mhm.
stopped at Rodi, the ajraks were given. Then we stopped at Multan. So at Multan, we were given sona halwa, for example. And then
That's the beauty
yeah,
of
yeah.
Son Halwa.
So every city had its own aura, own excitement. And then when we reached Lahore,
Own flavor.
yeah, yeah. And then when we reached Lahore, so Lahore is obviously considered the heart of Pakistan. So there was obviously a big dhol session outside the train, and they were received, and like there was flowers everywhere, because we wanted to, yeah, exactly. So we wanted to show Lahore is a very excited city, a very loud city. And my team, I mean, they've been really supportive. Like I have almost 4 team members in Pakistan at this point of time who are actually working very hard and working backstage, basically, in
Okay.
terms of Parks and Aways. And one of my partners as well, Kazim, he's in Lahore too. So the entire team really works hard on preparing. We give it weeks and months, and we prepare these itineraries. We want people to experience every element. It's just, you need to be very specific about those details. If you're not specific about those details, if you just make it like a tourism trip or just like a tour, then it's not going to be fun for these people. We in
Yeah.
fact, the fact that in Lahore, we not only Karachi but Lahore, we made sure they meet specific people within the PTI as well. Like, we made them meet some people in the government. They met. We also had a meeting set with Governor Punjab. We also took them to the Lahore Art Society, stuff like that. So there was definitely a lot of communication, dialogue, getting to know the culture, getting to know people. Our big thinkers. We even went to Allama Iqbal's residence. Like, we got to see his books and things like that. We also took them to the Wagah border. So like, we just wanted to basically showcase Pakistan in a way where they get to meet the bright thinkers. If they're social media influencers, we will introduce them to social media influencers in Pakistan. So like, just to create that productive dialogue as well at the same time. So when you go on a trip with Pakistan Awaits, you not only just go for a tour, you go for a complete experience of the country, like with your career. Like, if you're a blogger, for example, or you're a finance head or something, we will make sure that your trip is molded in a way where you get to experience the best of Pakistan in every element that you're covering. So, so definitely, I mean, that was it. Then Lahore was obviously, it was like a 4 day thing, and then from Lahore we went to Islamabad. Islamabad has its own grandness because it's the capital of Pakistan.
It has
So we
all
went on
the
these.
weather is totally different
Yeah,
to what Karachi and Lahore, so it's really
yeah.
enjoyable weather. Say, yeah.
And it was winters at that time, so it was snowing in the Murray Mountains. And then what happened was that we took them to Aptabad side. So obviously at that side it was still snowing. So when we went there, it was pretty exciting for them. Like seeing snow because for
Everyone
Arabs,
saying instead of enjoying the snow in the Europe, we are enjoying it in the Asia, and that's especially in Pakistan where you get to see the snow and a lot
that
of
is
other.
definitely a blessing because even in fact like I've met multiple people within the tourism department in Pakistan. I've met with people within the tourism offices in Pakistan as well, and I've
Okay.
always said this one thing that it's prime time that Pakistan starts focusing on tourists from the Middle East, because for those
Middle
people
East.
it's a 2 hour flight or a 3 hour flight, and those people are willing to spend for good hotels, for beautiful scenery, and for beautiful people. They will do that because for them, they want a country which has halal food. So Pakistan has the halal food they need. They need a
Hmm.
country that looks beautiful. Pakistan, mashallah, has beauty all across. So you go to Sindh, it's its own beauty. Lahore, own beauty. Punjab, basically. And then if you go upper north, it's magical. This is the prime time when we're having these tourism summits in Pakistan, when we're having all these when the Imran Khan government is actually talking about dialogue on tourism. So why not focus on this specific region? Let's start investing into the infrastructure of this region as well for this region, because the tourist that comes here from this part of the world is not a backpacker. The tourist that comes from this part of the world is actually a leisure traveler, or who likes to go on a vacation for a weekend, for example. It won't be unfair to say that I'm going for a vacation to Pakistan for the weekend because it's easy. I mean, for me personally, like I'm a Pakistani, but there are times when I just fly to Karachi for a weekend, or I even go to Islamabad for a weekend because it's so close. It's not far away, and it's magically beautiful. So, I mean, they're definitely the areas that the government should focus on, and I think the direction is right. It's just that they need young people to, Pakistani young people should actually start now helping and supporting as well the policies, and they should actually be coming up with ideas, and submitting them to the right people. And Pakistan Awaits is just one story. I'm sure there's multiple stories that are in Pakistan right now. So for us, it's definitely been a milestone. Like these 2 years have just been interestingly exciting. The partnerships have gone to. I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. Like when we started off, we thought this is just going to be one trip and we're going to die down. It's going to be a second trip. We might die down after that. But the idea was so respected and loved by, like it was just growing and growing. I mean, we partner with the children's education brand later on. So what happened is that it's by the name of the Wadi tribe. So basically, what happened is whenever you buy a, or like when you go on a trip with Pakistan Awaits, we assure the
Okay.
traveler that on your travel we will make sure that we educate one child in Pakistan. So,
Okay.
so, so we created those kind of ideas and policies where we said, like, why don't we support Pakistan both ways? Where we say, okay, we're giving it tourism, we're also giving children of Pakistan a future where they can, possibly be educated. So it's been an exciting journey. We were also awarded by the Foreign Minister of Pakistan for promoting bilateral ties in between Oman and Pakistan as well. So it's been a journey. It's just been exciting for us.
There's a question coming to my mind. It's about COVID-19. That's the
Mhm.
reason why tourism industry has been hit really badly, especially the travel industry as well. Nobody's traveling around much, so they're just taking care of themselves and their family. So how hard it is to regroup, which according to you, Pakistan Awaits was taken a initiative of bringing all these people from Middle East and the influencers and YouTubers, but at the moment we cannot travel around. So, what is your future goals and plans to set this again in a very positive way once everything opens up again? So, how do you see this COVID-19 affecting Pakistan Awaits, which was a great initiative for the last 2 3 years?
I mean, honestly speaking, that's a very good question. I personally, I wouldn't say we're victim to COVID-19, but obviously we have been impacted by it, right? We've not been able to do any trip this year. We might not be even able to do something next year, right? Well, because when you're into something like this, you need to understand the mindset of the traveler itself. Right now, we're in a
Mm-hmm.
world where we're looking towards only business travel. We're not looking towards leisure travel because budgets have been shrunk. People are investing more on
Agree.
themselves. They're not wasting much money on traveling, things like that. And obviously,
The,
it comes with the health. With the health.
the health is
Sorry.
more important. The health is more
Yeah.
important these
Yeah.
days. It's the reason that
Yeah.
people are
And
not
obviously,
in leisure.
yeah. So health definitely is the priority for people, but there is something that we believe in, and we have been working on as well, is that for Pakistan Awaits, we're not a tour company at the end of the day. We're a
Mm-hmm.
campaign. We have,
Mm-hmm.
since day one, we've made sure that we will be promoting as much of Pakistan in your news feeds as much as we can, in whatever capacity we have.
Okay.
And the idea is to use the
Okay.
platform of these social media influencers and all these intellectuals that are there within the GCC, I mean, now we've gone across GCC because we've grown to Canada, we've gone to France.
It's like
We
all together.
Yeah, definitely. And for us, it's been a bigger picture now. So what's happened is that we're now focusing something on this new idea that we're working on is virtual tourism, which is very exciting. What we're doing with that is that it's basically promoting, because for us, as I said, you are the example of Pakistan. You don't need to take people to Pakistan to show what Pakistan is. You can be yourself, and you can tell people this is what my country is about. So what we're so what we're doing is that we've created this new campaign. By the way, it's almost semi-launched yet. We were just waiting for Ramadan and Eid to pass away, and then work on it. So what we're doing is we're creating a complete virtual campaign for Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and what's happening is that we're bringing in personalities from the KPK, which is intellectuals, writers, advocates, human rights activists, things like that, sportsmen, athletes. We also have the first Muslim woman, Samar Khan, first Muslim woman to basically cycle the Bifo Glacier, and basically the first woman in the world.
Okay.
And the fact that she's also the first Muslim woman to cycle to the Kilimanjaro. So she's coming in as a
Okay.
brand ambassador for this entire campaign, which is basically Experience Pakhtunkhwa. And what we're doing is we're creating the space, where you can come live with us, you can talk to us, you can engage with us, get to know about Pakistan, get to know about this part of Pakistan, get to know about this part of Pakistan. So we're just trying to create that dialogue. I know this is something that is not financially feasible, doesn't look exciting in a bigger picture, but at the end of the day, as we always have said, and we always will be saying, that Pakistan Awaits is a non-for-profit initiative, and we don't focus on any terms of financial gains in terms of promoting Pakistan. So for us, we've always said that we will be promoting Pakistan in every light. Trips would not be happening right now. Obviously, that is something else. But then, in the end of the day, events also might not be happening. But then, at the end, we're just trying our best to keep the conversation going, because this is what we were made for, and this is what we made ourselves for. Because we want people to believe and have faith in Pakistan, and we want people to believe that this country has the potential. It is an important country within the region. It has a future, and this is definitely something that we would want all people around the world to know about our country, and that's the direction we're going at.
There is a suggestion coming in my mind which will help you and the Pakistan Awaits for the future, for the longer run. That would be that to connect all the influencers and the YouTubers from Arab states, right, to collaborate with the local YouTubers, which are doing a really remarkable job, in promoting Pakistan itself for their YouTubes and blogs. Basically, because I came to know and I saw so many of YouTubers being in Karachi or all over Pakistan having a great content, to promote Pakistan. So that's the great idea. I would suggest that why don't you start up a webinar, because at the moment COVID-19 you can't travel. So why not each influencer or the blogger based in Oman, Dubai, in Middle East and in Asia, if you know any in Pakistan, to collaborate and talk to each other to see how they can do collaborations once the tourism industry and the travel takes up like it picks up and you guys come to Pakistan again, so they can definitely collaborate with them to initiate some amazing content. What do you say on that? What do you have to say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I completely agree to what you're saying. Obviously, Pakistan has this immense talent that I think Pakistan's blessed in that aspect, and as Pakistanis, we're also blessed to have these content creators within Pakistan. And I think it's prime time that these content creators are being focused on by people like us, that who are actually trying to work on such initiatives where we're connecting and becoming connectors for these people. So just a brief about so far we have done 3 Pakistan trips, and the first one was obviously to the north, the second one was to the south. The third one was very interesting. It was completely primarily focused on education itself, and the autumn season within Pakistan. So it had multiple avenues that we were aiming at. But the good thing is that what we did is we created a strategy where we said, we will connect an influencer who was also an entrepreneur with an entrepreneur group of because basically it was a tourism company within Hunza Valley. And we connected this entrepreneur with that entrepreneur, and we became the center connecting point. What we wanted to do is we wanted to bring in suggestions from these people. We said that, okay, if you are a tourist and this tourist is an influencer, so we told his name is Wahid al-Belushi, by the way. So this influencer, we said, listen, so this is your experience because you've been to all these different countries. And when I say he's an influencer, he works, I mean, he's invited by the Maldives government to travel to their country. He's invited by My Dubai. So multiple countries do invite him for tourism. So sorry. So what we basically wanted to do is we wanted to get feedback from all these people that come into Pakistan, right? And that's how you create that dialogue. We involved local influencers on that trip as well, and we said, listen, so this person is coming from this part of the world, and you're going from this part of the world. Now tell us, what do you think are the things you would like to comment on, for example, for this tourism policy, or so every trip we have a topic, like how you and I have a topic right now to discuss. We make sure that each and every trip has its own topic, has its own narrative, and then on that narrative we try to approach specific government bodies, and we tell them, listen, this is what it is, this is what we feel like should be done, these are the things we need to be talking about. We were also invited to Russia last year. There was basically a conference for young leaders from Shanghai Cooperation countries and as well as the BRICS countries, and it was also attended by Vladimir Putin, this conference, because it was just inclined with Prime Minister Khan's visits to Bishkek at that time as well for the conference. So basically, what happened is that there were 4,000 people from all over the world, and we were part of the Pakistan delegation. Pakistan Airways was invited, and we were basically communicating with all these influencers and all these content creators from France, from Brazil, from multiple countries. And they said, we want to connect with these people in Pakistan. We want to get to know these people in Pakistan. And we said, definitely, we will be that bridge for you. And there are requests and queries. Like, for example, we got a query from France. We got a query from Morocco, because we never thought Morocco would ever want to visit Pakistan, but Morocco also is a country that is interested. We had people from Armenia. So, I mean, yes, you're right in that aspect. And this is the right time because COVID, everyone's home, and the best way to communicate is through these platforms. So definitely, I mean, we need to work on some sort of, and right now as well, is just some sort of platform where we connect people and where we create these dialogues where it's important to talk tourism, talk future, talk Pakistan's future as well. Like, why not? Why not? The young people think about it.
Count me in. If Pakistan Awaits has a position for
Definitely,
Mac Vlog,
definitely. Mac
please
Vlogs
count.
is in from now.
Definitely, because that will be a great honor for me to support this initiative of yours, which is Pakistan Awaits. Basically, because of my contacts and people who are connected with me internationally, that would be a great message which I can put across to them, that why we are doing this under the Pakistan Awaits, and invite them. Basically, because what happened is that, as you said earlier, that once we sell ourselves, then it becomes easier to communicate and have a dialogue with those people and convince them that they have to come to Pakistan on the basis of our positive approach. Basically, because what happened is that let me just add a little story. That way back in 2010, when I never visited Pakistan, I was based in Oman. I was there and working for an American school. So at that time, one of the teacher, he asked me, I want to visit Pakistan basically because my father used to be the head of an American school in Islamabad, but I don't know. Do you think it feels safe to go there? So I just advised him, at that time I was planning to go to Islamabad. So I went to Islamabad, I saw the whole atmosphere, the hospitality and everything. And then when I came to Oman and I told him it's very beautiful place to go, so then he visited his wife and kids. And that's how you change the people's mindset, you know. So that's what I feel, that I can bring a change and I can
Hmm.
change people's mindset and approach to come down to Pakistan with the positivity.
Hmm.
That's
True.
what I want to do.
Definitely.
I want to join you and join hands as
Definitely.
ambassador of Pakistan awaits.
Salute to you too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
before we wrap up this session, so it was a wonderful, let me just say a big thank you to Mr. Huzaifa Ubaid Khan, all the way from Oman, for a
Thank you
very
so much.
difficult time. From a busy time, you have given me some time of yours to share this experience about Pakistan Awaits and your initiative, which you had taken 2 years ago, which will definitely become successful as the travel
Thank
industry
you.
and tourism industry opens up again, basically, because
Yeah.
it is here to stay. I am here there for you. You're there for all the influencers and content creators. So let's
Thank
connect
you so
everyone.
much.
Really amazing to have you once again. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Before you go, please a small shout out for MacBlogs if you'd like to give for your followers and my followers to connect with me, and I can connect everyone around the world.
Great stuff. Guys, go follow Mac Vlogs. He's an amazing guy, and he's been connecting a lot of people together. And I've seen some really exciting content on his YouTube channel lately as well. So go follow up. If you need some motivation, if you need to know anything about any of the topics that you're confused about, go to his page. There's a lot of topics to look into, and it's an exciting page. So good luck and subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, Huzaifa Ubaid Khan, for such a lovely, kind words for my channel, and definitely being a great guest tonight. I really enjoyed
Thank
talking to
you.
you and to learn from you. It will be always an honor. So, everyone,
Thank you.
as Huzaifa has mentioned, I would like to add here, please go and press the subscribe button on MacVlogs channel and help me bring in more lovely people for the live sessions every day. Thank you so much. Good evening. Take care. Be healthy, be
Bye.
safe,
Take care.
and enjoy. Thank you so much.
Bye.